tell you how I finally feel? Oh, but I have a great opportunity with Yuri. After how long it took for her to open up to me, I have to admit I'm interested in her. And with what I saw in her arms yesterday, I'm pretty sure that one Natsuki line was new because it was that we absolutely spent no time with her and she finally gathered the courage to speak to us in general. Well, I'm glad you made the right decision for Yuri's sake. I'm sure Yuri will appreciate you trying to stay loyal to her. Just try to be the best I can around her. Wish I could say the same for Natsuki, though. Well, we'll get everything sorted out with her, don't you worry. She just needs a chance to cool down. This is also, again, what she has said earlier. Yuri's going to handle all this. It's from Yuri. Oh, my throat is giving out. Alrighty. I'll definitely skip anything that's possible to skip. I hope I can do the voices today. It might be a bit difficult. I'll manage to make them to a certain degree. I'd like for us to discuss what happened earlier in person, if you have the time. I contemplate my response. I'm not entirely sure if I want to be around her or anyone right now. And what she said to Sayori crossed more than one line with me, even though she doesn't know about Sayori's depression. But maybe she wants to apologize for acting that way. It was a tense situation all around, and I guess in more than one way, we're both partly responsible for escalating things. I want to make things right with her, but is it even worth it at this point? Everything that I thought I knew about her is completely out of the window now. Should I let Yuri come over? Yes. I should break things up with Yuri. Start texting back. Yeah, you can come over. Yuri quickly replies back. Okay, I'll let you know when I arrive. Man, what am I going to say to her? I don't even know what I'm going to say to her, let alone what she's going to say to me. Earlier. I mean, Yuri's never been that nasty to anyone, but today all my expectations went out of the window. That's about the same, just really switched the Yuri name with, well, the Natsuki or Monica name, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure. Well, for the living room, it's all the girls. Just some Yuri. As expected, I find Yuri waiting on my porch. She looks up at me through a worried and panicked expression. Rather than having her stumble through words right here and now, I simply sign wordlessly invite her in. After closing the door behind us, I lead Yuri to the living room. We both take our seats on the couch, unable to make consistent eye contact with one another. I bow my head as I try to figure out something to break the tension. I'm not even sure where to begin. There's absolutely no excuse for what she said. Even if she doesn't know about serious depression, it's just one of those things you don't just say to people. But I think I at least owe Yuri a chance to explain herself. We wait for several minutes in painfully awkward silence before she speaks up. What have I done? I'm still in shock of everything myself. I wasn't expecting anything like that to happen. But I still should have seen it coming. I wasn't prepared. There's no need to trouble yourself, Chloe. You don't need to justify my actions for me. I know what I did, and I could have stopped myself at any point in time. But why, Yuri? How can you ever say something so awful, especially to your friend? I mean, I know you and Natsuki can get a little vicious from time to time, but this is beyond anything I've ever heard from you. I know, and I'm truly sorry. Even if you don't believe me, I just want you to know that. I can believe you, but I just want to know why it happened. I think we both know the answer to that, sadly. Eh? What do you mean? Chloe, for my entire life I've tried to keep my emotions buried as best as possible. I actually wasn't always like this. Matter of fact, when I was younger, I was probably somebody similar to Natsuki than anything else. You were like Natsuki? What changed? Well, a number of things. For one, my environment changed. I picked up early on that people in the city don't find a loud, obnoxious girl from the countryside to be something that they like to associate themselves with. And I was never going to change myself for them. If it didn't help that I developed earlier from the rest either. I was certainly picked on by the others because of it. So I decided it'd be in my best interest to fade into the background, away from the prying eyes of my classmates. My personality completely changed in the span of just a few years. My parents and I loved them dearly. My parents loved them dearly, never were able to help me thanks to their work, so I was forced to fend for myself at a rather young age. I never really opened up to anyone about my problems until I met my first real friend since I moved. She was the only one I ever trusted enough to turn to help when I couldn't handle things, and she suddenly disappeared from my life without any explanation. I just shut myself off from the world around me. I always had an interest in literature, so I turned to that more and more as a way to cope. But it's not foolproof. Sometimes my emotions spill out into the open, despite my best efforts to control them. But you made me feel comfortable around you. You're the first person in a long time that I can truly talk to on a deeply personal level. I started to develop an attraction towards you. And it's not something I'm prepared to lose. So I felt threatened that I was going to lose the bond that we've worked so hard for. It certainly didn't help that Natsuki and I spewed some incredibly distasteful insults at each other. I really don't want to get into that. By the time you and Monica came back, everything had just escalated. I was so riled up that I wasn't myself anymore. So I unfairly lashed out at Sayori because I was pushed to my limit. I just hope you can forgive me, Chloe. I never meant to hurt her, or anyone. I'm so ashamed that you had to see me in that state. I know that you never wanted to hurt Natsuki. Even despite all this, I really want to be her friend. I just want us to all get along. But I always end up ruining things in the end. Why would you want to associate yourself with someone as horrible as me? Yuri starts sobbing as if frozen in shock. I've always known Yuri to be an introvert, but not like this. Well, there's certainly no way she can undo the hurt she's caused Sayori. I'm glad to at least hear from her that she knows she's in the wrong. And you're my tissue box. She gently plucks a tissue from the box and uses it to wipe her tears away. Thank you, Chloe. Yeah, no problem. My nose is stuffy. We sit for the next few moments in silence. Sit there frozen in shock as I attempt to process the situation. I've seen Yuri overwhelmed by her emotions before lashing out, but it's only because she's forced into these uncomfortable situations and doesn't really know how to handle herself. Maybe I shouldn't be so mad at her. I should also go back here for the later portion I have. I wait for it to collect herself before I say anything. Well, I'm glad that you've come to recognize what you did back there as wrong, but I'm a pretty big reason for what happened as well, so I'm really sorry that all had to happen. So I shouldn't be too mad at you. This really is all my fault. I let on Natsuki and hurt her. Who knows who else I've hurt in the process. I'm just so confused about everything right now. I know where you're coming from, Chloe. It's been an emotionally confusing time for us both. We spent so much time together. So much to the point that maybe there was a possibility that we could be more than simply friends. You've been so patient and understanding with me. Truthfully, ever since the day you joined, I walked in looking forward to spending time together. It's the highlight of my day. And you helped me feel better about myself. I thought that because of you, I could finally feel love and companionship again. But I've probably ruined things thanks to my behavior today. So my worst possible side, and I don't expect you to get over that anytime soon, ever. My face is flushed with embarrassment as Yuri finishes her speech. I don't expect to have that kind of impact on her in such a short time. Try to fumble out some sort of answer. Well, Yuri, I really appreciate everything you said there. I don't hate you because of what happened earlier. In fact, I don't hate you at all. I'm glad you recognized what you said was wrong, and that you're willing to make things right with Sayori. I intend to make things right with everyone. For the good of the club, we need to ensure there is no lingering animosity between any of us. Well, I guess that puts us in the same boat, huh? Both let an awkward chuckle before the room returns to silence. At least you and I smooth things over for the most part. Let's just hope it goes well, just as well for tomorrow with everyone else. So, is Sayori okay? Well, I haven't really had the chance to check up on her since all this happened, but I'll be sure to stop by her place soon. Okay, good. I just want to make sure she's okay. I'm sure she'll be alright. I've never known Sayori to hold grudges. I mean, if you can settle things with Natsuki, I'm sure you can settle things with her. Yeah, I hope so. I just don't know how I'll be able to forgive myself. Well, I'm sure that in time we'll move past it. I'm not really mad at you for this. Yeah, and I think within time, I will be able to sort out my feelings. Hopefully, there'll be a club to go back to tomorrow. We can only hope for the best, Yuri. I think Monica would want everyone back to talk about everything. She does care for the club's being. But I think we made an important step in smoothing things over. I'm glad you reached out. It was the right thing to do, Chloe. I'm confident you would have done the same thing in my position. I weakly smile at Yuri as a new wave of silence washes over us. After about half a minute, Yuri checks her watch and abruptly stands up. I have to go now. I'd hate to get into trouble with my parents for staying out too late. Understand. Thanks for coming to me, Yuri. Let's just hope all this craziness blows over soon. I couldn't agree more. Goodbye, Chloe. See you tomorrow. I lead you out the door and gently close it behind her. I watch out the window as Yuri walks off to the horizon in the direction of the nearest bus stop. That wasn't bad. To myself. I'm still a little surprised Yuri went out of her way to directly apologize to me. Even though she was awful during that fight, I'm glad that she recognized her mistakes. It's going to take time for Yuri and I to move past what happened, but I don't think it changed my feelings for her that much. Hopefully everything will be normal again tomorrow. My talk with Yuri come to an understanding, but it still might work out for me. We're going to make peace with Natsuki, assuming we even can. At least you should be able to make up with Sayori. I forgot to text her, she's probably... Not to mention, I still don't know for sure if Yuri's cutting herself. Thinking about it earlier likely wouldn't have gone very well. Well, I suppose I should really be solving one problem at a time. Thinking about too much to save my energy. Goes down. I seriously wish you didn't try to make amends with Yuri, but that hopefully won't matter much to my calculations. The music's still playing, wasn't like that for the others. Yuri. Is she really going to go out of her way to make peace with Natsuki? Is the music just stuck? They've had some nasty fights, but nothing of this caliber. It's just a tense situation all around. Everyone's mad at each other for something. Yuri, she does have the best social skills. Not like mine or any better, considering I started all this. Well, Yuri surprised me before. I'm sure she'll do it again. Hopefully I can talk to her before the club starts. This might be poor timing, but I need to know for sure what's up with Yuri's secret. Speaking of poor timing, I need to meet with Sayori. Heaven knows we have a lot to talk about as well. That's exactly the same as with Natsuki. Why is this music still playing? For the others it was all silence, and now they suddenly just like... Yeah, it's my No, it's not my confession, it's my feelings. Yeah, My feelings are still playing. I see a flash of purple before it retreats from my sight. For some reason I struggled for a moment because I was like, was it that low, like deep? My feelings. It's alright, Yuri, come in. Try to sound as inviting as possible, but I probably ended up just coming across just as sarcastic. It's alright, Yuri. Come in. Still, she seems to have accepted the invite. Yuri slowly opens the rest of the door and steps into the club room. Struggle to make eye contact with one another, let alone speak to each other. Hello, Chloe. Hey, Yuri. Yuri carefully sets herself down, but she doesn't sit. Instead, she turns around to face me. I struggle to meet mine. It takes a few moments before she finally finds her voice. You know, I'm not really sure if I'm ready for this. I've never been involved in anything quite this dramatic before. I can't say I have either. I mean, who would have thought that the club would be brought to this point? I know I share some of the responsibility, but maybe if it did knocked out, maybe things would be better. Yuri, this is mostly my fault. I wouldn't blame you. But hopefully we can make things right again here. Yeah, me too. Yuri's voice trails off as she anxiously stares at the floor. What's wrong? What? Nothing. Nothing's wrong. Yuri, how do I put this delicately? Look, I'm not holding you solely responsible for what happened. I think we all deserve some of the blame. Said some things that obviously shouldn't have been said, and I shouldn't have walked out on you guys. But I'm hopeful we'll be able to reconcile everyone's differences. Yuri lets out a sigh. Chloe, to be honest with you, that's not the only reason I'm worried right now. Well, what is it? Maybe it can help ease your mind over things. Just don't tell anyone about this, okay? Promise. Yuri clasps her hands together and takes a big breath of air in. Okay. So I think it's prudent that in order to avoid future drama, I think we need to shed light about some of our personal problems. Go on. So, I want to open up about a problem I've been having for a while now. Yuri slowly puts her arms behind her back. Do you want to tell me what it is now and help you practice for it? No, I don't think that'll be necessary. Honestly, I don't know if I trust myself to even talk about it in front of anyone else. I can help give you a nudge when I talk, but why don't you trust yourself? I've never told anyone else about it. And it took me until recently to acknowledge that something was really wrong with me. So to share this information with others is kind of a big jump for me. I understand, but I'm glad you trust me enough to tell me about this. I completely trust you, Chloe. Beyond a reasonable doubt. Can't really say the same about the others right now. However, I know what must be done. I consider us fortunate that we sorted things out between us yesterday. It's one less important thing to do. That's true. Yuri tries to shoot me an optimistic smile, but she can tell I'm not really in the mood to return the favor. Well, I can't blame you for not seeing any upside to our present situation. Truthfully, there probably isn't much other than the understanding we reached. It's all just really unfortunate. No one did. I wanted us all to get along. I didn't know that us growing close together was going to piss off everyone else. Well, there's nothing we can do about the past now. I will say, though, I'm glad I got the opportunity to get to know you better. You've been a good friend to me, Chloe. I really can't thank you enough for it. Can't help but smile at Yuri's compliment. At least we both go into this with a somewhat good mood. Now, since we should have some time before everyone starts to show up, would you like to do some reading? You know it! Fantastic. I just hope that Natsuki, before Yuri could finish her sentence, the door opens and Natsuki enters the room. She looks to Yuri, who quickly sits down and buries herself in her book. Natsuki's eyes then lock onto mine as I continue my icy stare. She tries to say something, but she quickly catches herself and brushes past us to get to the closet. I quietly sigh to myself. I am not looking forward to talking to her. Look, the truth is, I have feelings for Yuri. I've been spending quite a bit of time around her recently, and well, I like her. One by one, the girls shoot either an irritated or dejected look at me, but Yuri smiles as she holds back tears. I really don't think there's anything that's going to change that. I want to be in a relationship with her, not to spite any of you, but if you make eye contact with Yuri, but because I've come to realize lately, I think she needs me. Turn to Yuri, signaling to her that it's her turn to speak. Right. Yuri promptly stands up. Shakily breathes in and out, tears swelling in her eyes. Everyone, the thing is... Natsuki looks at Monika, then to me. Sayuri and finally to Yuri. Monika mentions an uneasy grin, okay. Ah, it even mentioned here again. As Sayuri and Natsuki continue to look at Natsuki, Natsuki is admiring herself in the mirror. I didn't realize how hard this would be for Yuri to come out about whatever it is she's about to tell us. Do I have a sinking feeling we already know what it is? I give Yuri an encouraging nod. Come on, Yuri. You can do this. I can't do this! Yuri bolts up from her seat and rushes out the door past Monika, loudly sobbing. I feel someone, just as I'm about to run after Yuri, I feel someone grip on my arm. It's Natsuki. Wait! Brush Natsuki's arm off of mine and turn to directly face her. I'm not very good at this. It could be that this was in the Sayuri route, but I don't fully remember what she said, so better be safe than sorry. What are you talking about? Natsuki's voice starts to break, shuts her eyes in an effort to fight back tears. It ultimately proves futile as tears start running down Natsuki's cheeks. She finally lets it all out. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry for trying to take you away from Yuri. I'm sorry for saying all those things I shouldn't have. I'm sorry for hitting you. I'm sorry for everything. Natsuki. Yeah? I'm not the one you need to apologize to right now. Natsuki's expression turns to shock before she can properly react. I turn and head straight to the door. Chloe, wait! Let me... Okay, I think that was exactly the same. I gotta find Yuri. Yuri? Yuri! Where are you? Honestly, I preferred the silence. As soon as I get in, I see Yuri curled up in the corner. I carefully approach and quietly call out her name. Yuri? Yuri slowly looks up to face me. Please, leave me alone. Stop looking at me. I'm just a freak. I kneel down next to Yuri. You're not a freak, Yuri. Yuri stares at me with her glassy eyes. Here's her confession theme. That would have probably hit better for me if it wouldn't have played the whole time, my feelings beforehand. Yes, I am. I'm a freak. I can't control my emotions around anyone. Especially you. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Yuri stops sobbing and pauses. For a full minute, Yuri is completely silent aside from her occasional sniffle. Face is frozen in fear and uncertainty. I'm honestly not sure what I'm supposed to do. Before I could react, Yuri lets out a pained sigh. I figured I was going to have to show you eventually. Either you accidentally see it, or I show you. At least this way, it's on my own terms. Yuri? With tears rolling down her face, again, Yuri stands up and pulls up her sleeve, revealing numerous scars running up and down her forearm. Some of the scars are more faded than others, while some appear to be more recent. I feel increasingly lightheaded the longer I look at Yuri's arm. My stomach feels like it's about to cave in and collapse on itself. It's like that on the other arm too. Now you know my secret. Yuri, how long have you been doing this for? Years. Yuri resumes her sobbing as I stand shell-shocked at this revelation. I'm not even sure how to react to this. How do I even respond? Yuri sees my reaction, pulls her sleeve back down in disgust. I know what you're thinking. It's exactly what I expected from you. That's why I worked to keep it hidden away from you so long. If you won't accept me knowing what you know now, then who will? If I tried to get any help, if I even told my parents about this, I'll be locked away, never to be seen again. I can't fathom being apart from you. I wouldn't be able to tolerate not being able to enjoy the club anymore. But it's over now, isn't it? You're going to tell someone of authority about this, and I'm going to be committed to an institution for who knows how long. It was good while it lasted. Everything for you. Our friendship and club are gone. Yo breaks down again and continues her sobbing. She's clearly being hysterical, but I'm not sure if it's possible to reason with her right now. I want to leave Yuri unattended, especially like this. However, maybe she just needs someone to calm herself down. But isn't it my job to be there for her in her time of need? I take a deep breath and gently put my hand on Yuri's shoulder. Yuri, I know now that what it took you for you to work up the courage to tell me about this. I know that just to even admit to me, it took a lot of guts. I can't possibly imagine having to deal with what you've been going through for so long. You're a strong person for doing so, but we both know that you can't overcome this problem by yourself. You're right that we can't keep something like this just between us. This is bad. I don't think anybody's going to commit you to some asylum or anything like that. I doubt that'll happen. Good on you for believing that. I know it may not seem like it now, but everyone at the club cares about you. They want to help you and fix the club. If they didn't care, weren't willing to give you a chance, do you think that they would have showed up at all? As far as I could tell, everyone was respectfully listening to you. You're doing great. Just have to go back and finish telling your story. Especially why you're doing this to yourself. And then maybe we can figure out how to get you out of your situation. I can tell you while I'm cutting. Please do. You shakily breathes. I do it as a way of self-control. I remember the story about my middle school friend. Yeah. You guys were close and then one day she just skipped out and nobody knows what happened to her. Precisely. I was never the same person after that. My PC crashed mid-sentence. So I actually started kind of crying for Yuri's last portion there because people will lock people like that away in asylum just for that. They will. Sorry. So let's see. Yuri was speaking a longer sentence. Okay. I was completely broken inside. My parents weren't around enough to offer me any significant help, but I was able to fake it enough so that they didn't send me away. Cynically defending myself and being proud of who I was, I opted to fade into obscurity, away from everyone's prying eyes. For the most part, it worked. The bullying and harassment stopped. But I was still lonely and friendless, and needed an outlet to let out all the pain and hurt I felt for so long. I needed to control myself against my more darker impulses. I got the idea of cutting because I read about it in a story that happens to relate to me very well. What was the name of the story? The Eternal Urge. I think I've heard of that title before. I heard it's very tragic. Let me check it out on the side. Certainly not for the faint of heart. Hindsight, a young impressionable teenager like myself at the time probably shouldn't have been reading such a dark book, especially at that point in my life. But the main character was going through similar issues that I was. To help cope with her problems, she resorted to cutting. So I tried it, and it worked. Got addicted to cutting the more I did it. It became almost habitual for me whenever I got angry or depressed enough. It made me better for a while, made me feel better for a while, then regret would set in, which would inevitably lead to more cutting. So it's a never-ending cycle? Yes. It also happens whenever I get overexcited. It reminds me too much of the behavior I've struggled to avoid for so long. It's a mind of the life I've tried to leave behind. So, it also serves as a sort of punishment system for me. People who get overexcited could just cut themselves to control overexcitement. Because an excitement is also something she would probably want to gain control of, since it would feel like it spirals out of control. And it would be less of a punishment and more of a, I still need to get these emotions out and feel kind of like I can control it. Yuri, tried other methods of coping before, right? Yes. For the longest time, the only thing that was sometimes enough to keep my mind off cutting was reading books. Though it's not foolproof. But that changed not too long ago. How so? When I met you, and we started talking. You reminded me about all the good times I experienced when I was growing up. How happy I was, what it felt like to feel attracted to someone who was nice and cared about how I felt. Of course, with those happy memories, others resurfaced. The other ones filled with pain and loss. So sometimes, when I think of you, sometimes enough for me to stop myself. Other times, it's what pushes me over the edge to do it. I know that this isn't healthy. I do anything to break this hellish cycle. But I just can't. I'm stuck in this loop and I can't escape. Sometimes I even ask myself if I can be helped. Do you believe that you can be helped, Yuri? Yuri's face fidgets as she tightly grabs her wrist behind her back. I don't know, Chloe. I just don't want to be looked up like some animal. Yuri, I don't think you will be. But you have to understand what you told me is serious. I can't keep this to myself. You have to get professional help. I don't think anyone's going to commit you to an asylum just for that. I don't want to spread any type of stereotypes, it's just that for me the stereotypes were too close to reality, so if I sound like I'm chewing on something, I need to kind of get my frustration out somewhere. But you have to trust me on this. You need to go back to the club with me and tell everyone the truth. She doesn't need to trust anyone with it if she ends up deciding that she doesn't want to. Please come back with me, Yuri. I'll do everything I can to protect you. You can't protect someone when they lock them up and don't allow visitors. Sorry. Experiences with a lot of these things just suck with professional help in any regard. Aside from therapy groups where also sometimes therapists kind of were involved. So the help for me is still were the people around. At least I can say that it never was anything like therapy, the talk therapy, the one-on-one talk therapy, or the EMDR therapy, that whole that one of my friends went through. And don't get me started on mental hospitals. There's a long silence before your response. I want to trust you, Chloe, but how do I know that I can trust with what you're saying? I stopped myself short. Am I ready to say that? Is it too soon? What is it? If I'm going to sell Yuri on the idea of getting help, probably for the best that I'm as honest as possible with her. Take a deep breath as I begin to lay out my thoughts. I mean what I said back there. I liked you. I really do. You were such a deep and interesting person. Honestly, I feel like I've only just begun to get to know you. I've only liked what I've seen so far. I feel like that we really do have a meaningful connection with each other. Really do. You're unbelievably gorgeous and incredibly smart. You'd have to be an idiot not to see what an incredible and thoughtful person you are. I know you're a strong person at heart too. You don't need to continue to fight this battle by yourself. Let us help you, Yuri. We all care about you. I just don't want this to get worse, because if I were to lose you because you went too far, I wouldn't be able to forgive myself. Taking a deep, big breath of air to compose myself. Yuri, on the other hand, nervously fidgets and is staring at the floor. For a few moments, she's completely silent, just simply standing there, looking at the floor in total bliss. I think I might have overdone it. Yuri starts to sniffle as I see tears start to surface in her eyes again as she turns to face me, though these aren't tears of sadness. After a few more sniffles, Yuri finally breaks her silence to me.
Chloe.
What? Before I can say anything else, Yuri full-on embraces me.
I love you, Chloe.
I love you too, Yuri. I'm glad I can finally say it. I help Yuri stand up, but she quickly looks away as she grins uncontrollably from ear to ear. I've never seen her this happy before. With everything that's happened in the last 24 hours or so, it's hard to believe we finally got to this point. It's not over yet, though. Come on, let's get back. Natsuki, or maybe Sayori. No, it's not even Sayori. Was yeah. Monica! But Monica's an entrance. You look. I found Yuri too. Then to Yuri, who seems just as uncomfortable being alone with Monica as I am. You and I stare at each other in confusion. The hard way? What are you talking about? Stuff in the classroom has vanished. Not only that, but we're all standing in different spots.
What is this? What's going on? Where did everything go?
Yuri cries out for help as loud as she can.
Scream all you want, it won't save you.
Monica teleports right next to Yuri and tightly grabs her hair. Yuri again yells in pain as she is forced to her knees by Monica's harsh pull. Meanwhile, I find myself at the back of the room, unable to get up or speak. What the hell's going on?
What is this?
Yuri tries to fight to get Monica off of her, but she too seems to be frozen in place.
I waited a long time for this.
Our little pieces repeatedly revolve around themselves mid-air.
Help me. I'm sick.
Yeah. I think at the end it allowed a skip. Once again, let's just go there right away. We step in. There's something I want to check after that one scene. Yuri once more rolls down her sleeve, revealing the cuts I saw earlier. My stomach uncomfortably churned again.
I already showed Chloe this earlier, and I take it Monica already knew about this. But Seven will control. Darker impulses. So, why then? As I've told Chloe, tried other methods, but I only think it's sometimes enough to keep my mind off cutting was reading books, though it's not foolproof.
Okay. Who do I want to commit to? Yuri, of course. I want to be in a relationship with Yuri.
Yuri, huh? I always thought of her as a maiden of mystery, but she's a good girl at heart. Quite passionate. You think you can handle her?
I think I can. Just a deep, interesting person. I feel like I haven't even scratched the surface with her, even after all this time.
Well, I can assure you will never get bored with her, that's for sure.
She'll also need someone to make sure she doesn't fall into her old habits.
Indeed. It'll take time for her to get over her problem, but if anyone can help her through those trying times, it's you. Well, that's where we depart.
Okay. I will again only say the last lines. Shoulder should be Sayori. I think you and Joe will be a great couple. I always knew you had feelings for her. Your therapist will not believe you and you will be just titled as insane, and you know what? You will also be at risk of being sent to an asylum. As much as it sucks. Well, not necessarily asylum, a mental hospital. To approach me. Say to each other... So you're going with Yuri, huh? Can't say I'm too surprised. You always did strike me as her type of guy. I hope everything works out between you two. And hey, I hope you keep Yuri happy. Finally, you're the last one to approach me.
Chloe, I'm a little surprised. I can't say I was really expecting you to pick me, even though I was hoping you would.
Yuri, why wouldn't I choose you? I love you, and I want to be in a relationship with you.
May I inquire as to why?
You're passionate, sweet, a little reserved and timid, but I like it that way. I've had nothing but rich and wonderful experience when I'm with you. You're an awesome person, and I'd love to continue to be a part of your life.
Oh, I knew you liked me, but it's just... we've had quite an adventure together.
Yeah, it's really been something.
I must confess, for the longest time I wasn't sure if I was really wise to open up to you. Such instances of doing that in the past hardly ever worked out for me in the long run, but you've been different. You always listened to what I had to say and showed that you actually cared about me.
It's also because I'm such a charmer.
I'm sure that was a factor, but really, I can't think of too many people that would risk their lives to save me. I always dreamed of falling in love with someone from the realm of fiction. Not too many people have shown your level of genuine interest and empathy for someone like me. A girl who has always tried to stay in the background as much as possible. Yet I couldn't escape your notice. I'm incredibly thankful that you're giving me a chance, Chloe.
It's my pleasure, Yuri. So, what are you going to do about, probably suppressing it? I should probably read it, even if we've read it before. My voice will forgive me.
I think it's finally time that I start confronting this problem rather than suppressing it. I'm not sure what the best way is. Everything is just a simulation now. Is there a way I can simply just undo my problem with the click of a button?
Can't say that I have the answer to that question, but I know you'll figure something out. I'll be right here if you need my help.
I'd very much appreciate that, Chloe. I really owe you a lot, don't I?
I just did what I thought was right back there. You and everyone else are so much more than some code.
We'll have much to ponder about the supposed truth of our reality. But I must admit, this whole experience has inspired me to write my own story about this.
Oh, the internal urge, I couldn't find anything about it. Eternal. It better be a bestseller.
I haven't written a full novel before. I'm sure I can figure it out. But perhaps one challenge at a time, right?
Yeah, I think we've earned some well-deserved rest.
And rest we shall. But I think we've earned an evening to enjoy ourselves. Wouldn't you agree?
That sounds lovely, Yuri. I'd love to take you out someplace nice.
That's fantastic. Shall we go?
You're going ahead. I'll meet you at my place later.
Alright then. I'll see you later.
Yuri says sweetly as she heads out the door. This should all be the same. I hope the game crashed and didn't just remove all the skippability, but I think it was overall just generally not skippable at the endings. Because I know one thing for sure. I care about them with all my heart. And I know the player does too. Thank you, whoever you are. You'll always be welcome in the literature club.
Hello, Chloe. You ready to enjoy our evening out?
You know it! I take Yuri's hand as we walk off towards the city to enjoy our evening together. I think I'll take the opportunity to read more of an organ. Is it a pipe organ? I think this is the final time I'll read the note because for the other little endings I probably won't fully go to the ending before loading. And I think this will have its own separate video, especially since not everyone cares so much about the review portion. DMC is Chloe. I've never gotten to see it before because I just kept looking away to avoid any spoilers. I can actually look at the credits now. There was a special things, but I think I have that open in the background while I do my review instead. Special things in the folder. And I will have to add music in the background then, but... Man, I wish I could also use some of my sheepy music. They didn't even have all pictures of everyone always in there. I wouldn't have been spoiled for everything. Now it's silent. But yeah, since it's the last time I'll probably ever get to read the final note, I should take this opportunity to do so.
feels pretty lonely.
Aw. I would rather have long credits that credit everything. But I do think it's interesting. Audio scary scream just by this YouTube. Okay, final time reading the note. We'll also put into consideration what it says there for the review because I still need to format that. To the player, I wanted to take the time to thank you for playing this mod. Hope you enjoyed playing, and I hope you had a phenomenal experience. This mod was designed to be as interactive and choice-driven as possible. I wanted to give the player the ability to influence the trajectory of the story in the most direct way possible through the choices they made in the game. It's not something I've seen done too much in other mods, so I want to try to go against the grain as much as possible with the making of this mod. In that regard, I believe I've succeeded. This mod was truly an experience to work on, and it's been quite the journey from start to finish. I didn't realize it at first, but this mod proved to be more complicated to make than I anticipated. There were going to be 4 main routes, 5 days, and almost every single day had a choice that would have far-reaching consequences that would influence the endings you could get by the end of the story. Through the ability to switch between routes, and it quickly became apparent that I had several mountains of work to climb. Nevertheless, I worked hard to overcome them. Even though at times I was writing the same thing over and over with minor differences for various scenes, I did enjoy writing the story. I loved the story that I was telling, and I hope you're satisfied with the ending you've got. If not, well, you can always relaunch the mod and start at the beginning or load up an old save. I deliberately made sure that you would be able to go back and enjoy the mod at any point in time without having to reinstall everything. There are many different ways to play this mod, and it's ultimately up to you to want to play it. There is no limit on how many encores you can have. All things considered, it's been a ride. I started this project back in August of 2018, and close to 2 years later I can proudly say it's done. I want to thank everyone who worked on and supported this project from when it was just an idea to being a fully fleshed out mod. Whether you playtested, wrote the music, drew the art, helped me write the story, assisted with coding, or just supported and encouraged me to keep going, this mod happened because of you. I couldn't have pulled this off entirely on my own. I learned a lot about what goes into these mods, how to make them, how to do them right, how to code, all sorts of fun stuff. I learned a lot about how to plan and manage a project like this, and I've learned to be better through those experiences. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for playing and supporting Doki Doki Encore. Thank you for helping make this project into reality for everyone to enjoy. Andrew J. I want to say Striedel, because that's that's the German version of it. Striedel. Andrew J. Last name, surname. Director and creator of of Doki Doki Encore. Well, that's it for the Yuri Route then.